Good to have you with us on this Monday edition. Ed Schultz, news and commentary from the nation's capital. Well, what'd you do last night? Oh, you watched the debate? Unbelievable. I mean, this is almost like if you're a sports fan and your team has gone through something that you just can't find the words to describe. I mean, that's pretty much where we are after this weekend's events. Let me give you the news of the day. Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, says he's not going to defend Donald Trump. He's not going to campaign with Donald Trump. Although he got back on a conference call and said, well, wait a minute, I'm not withdrawing my endorsement of the guy. There has been some pushback from some Republicans on that, but clearly the highest elected official in the Republican Party in this country is not happy with Trump and what has unfolded since Friday. And of course, there's a dust-up between Pence and Trump, the running mate, about where they stand on Syria. So Pence made it clear this morning he's not leaving the ticket.
It's absolutely false to suggest that at any point in time we consider dropping off this ticket. It's the greatest honor of my life to have been nominated by my party to be the next vice president of the United States of America. Look.
So he can stomach the tape, he can defend Trump, and they'll fix the Syrian thing that they're having a problem over. You know, we've been through two debates, and there has been no question from the moderator, why do you want to get rid of Assad? What is your position on Syria? It's always, what military action are you going to take? It's not, give me a reason of why you think Assad has to go, and explain to the American people. Because if you go down the street and ask people in America, what are we doing in Syria? Oh, we're fighting the terrorists. And this is what emboldens Donald Trump when he goes after Hillary Clinton. So here's the opening punch on Sunday night in the debate.
You called what you said locker room banter. You described kissing women without consent, grabbing their genitals. That is sexual assault. You bragged that you have sexually assaulted women. Do you understand that?
No, I didn't say that at all. I don't think you understood what was said. This was locker room talk. I'm not proud of it. I apologize to my family. I apologize to the American people. Certainly, I'm not proud of it. But this is locker room talk. You know, when we have a world where you have ISIS chopping off heads, where you have, and frankly, drowning people in steel cages, where you have wars and horrible, horrible sights all over, where you have so many bad things happening. This is like medieval times. We haven't seen anything like this, the carnage all over the world.
So we go from an apology to how he's going to go after ISIS. It's really dartboard mentality. Let's go to Katrina Vanden Heuvel, editor, part owner of The Nation. The polls today, Katrina, show that this is the best lead that Hillary Clinton has had. It seems to be her race to lose. She's in the driver's seat. Your take on all of this, and great to have you with us.
Thank you, Ed. Well, after the debate last night, when we watched a man who was caught confessing to sexual assault, a boorish man who's now a predator, he interrupted, bullied Hillary Clinton, even threatened to jail her if he becomes president, like an American authoritarian dictator. So I think what we saw last night, Trump goes low, went real low. There's talk, Ed, as you know, I mean, we've seen Trump insult almost every group of people in this country. I think this is a tipping point. He said a lot of disgusting, stupid, hateful things before gotten away with it. But, he's insulting. I mean, he's talking about grabbing women in different ways, and women are half the population. They're anything but, quote, the other, which Trump has afflicted us with. Everyone has a mother, and many, if not most of us, men and women alike, have a daughter, sister, wife, girlfriend. So I think it's not just this tape, but it's the accumulation, Ed, of a man who traffics in insults, not ideas, and who has insulted so many that I think we're at a tipping point. And the debate, that scene before the debate, Ed, some of your listeners, many of them may have watched it, was one of the most squalid, tawdry, disgusting events. And I have to say, I feel one of the more malignant expressions of misogyny where women are held accountable for actions of men. We're not going to relitigate Bill Clinton's history, but all power to the grace and strength of Hillary Clinton for getting out there and putting up a good fight with a man who tried to take not only her, but what's left of this sort of fragile democracy pre-election into the gutter with him.
No question about it that it was a move that was completely not predictable at all. Here's Donald Trump moving forward and bringing out 4 women who have had a history with Bill Clinton, unearthing an ugly scab that was thrown on the American people, almost 2 decades ago. The fact is that he'll do anything to win, and he was trying to change the subject. This is Hillary Clinton's response last night to what has unfolded with Trump over the last 72 hours.
But it's not only women, and it's not only this video that raises questions about his fitness to be our president, because he has also targeted immigrants, African Americans, Latinos, people with disabilities, POWs, Muslims, and so many others. So this is who Donald Trump is. And the question for us, the question our country must answer, is that this is not who we are.
And in the wake of that, today, House Speaker Paul Ryan told Republicans on a conference call, do what you have to do in your district. Do what's best for your district. And, of course, Paul Ryan is young in years. He's got a lot of years left, a big political future with the Republicans down the road. Says he will not defend Trump, nor will he campaign with him. What do you make of that, Katrina?
I think there's a hashtag going around Twitter today, Ed, full weasel, Mr. Ryan, spineless, gutless, do what you have to do for your party, your district, forget your country. I'd like to see all these guys. And by the way, we talk about makers and takers, Ed. I mean, these are the GOP makers of this monster, Donald Trump. We've seen extremism and racism, dog whistle, and other bigotry in the Republican Party, a media that has really fomented some of the conspiracy theories, which now rally people at Trump's rallies. So I think Paul Ryan may think he has a glorious career ahead of him, but I think there's going to be a lot of reckoning post-election.
Do you think Ryan was forced to do that? You think Ryan was forced?
I think Ryan was forced? Ed, at this stage, never say never, who knows what. I mean, I think that the Republican Party is imploding. There's serious elements to it. I mean, I think one healthy implosion, is that the elites are being revealed for who they are. Donald Trump's also an elite. That's a myth that he's not. But, people, rank and file members of this Republican Party who've been shafted for decades are seeing, what's going on with these elites who are trying to shore up their privilege and don't like any threat to the orthodoxy, whether it's the Chamber of Commerce, it's trade deals that have deindustrialized communities around this country. So I think, Paul Ryan, who's been the darling of the mainstream elite media for his great wisdom on budgets, the guy's cruel. There's a myth of Paul Ryan. Yeah. And I don't know who would, I think they're all trying to gauge where it all stands, who's going down. I think they're trying to save a party that will probably continue to shaft working people, but they're, you heard what he said. He wants to work for his constituents, and they want to save these down-ballot races, which may go down with Trump, though I think that's too simplistic. I think in communities around this country, these races, Senate, House, state races, have a different dynamic, and I'm worried about the Senate. I hope it goes back into Democratic hands. I'd like to see a robust progressive caucus with Warren and Sherrod Brown and Merkley, and of course Bernie Sanders as an independent in caucusing with them. But I think that would be a powerful ally to ensure that Hillary Clinton fulfills the most progressive Democratic platform in modern history.
There's been another dump of emails from WikiLeaks. It goes right into the heart of the Clinton campaign. They talk about media favorites. They talk about favorable stories being planted in the media. I guess, there's relationships with reporters with every candidate throughout the country. But this one seems to go to the point of propaganda and management. The other issue is that in these leaked emails is some speeches from the from Wall Street. This is maybe one of the reasons why Hillary Clinton did not want these speeches released when she had competition in the form of Bernie Sanders, because who knows what the Sanders campaign could have done with this kind of information. It plays into.
I valued, Ed, that Bernie Sanders always called for release of those speeches. I mean, he was less interested in the emails. He wanted the speeches have substance. Yeah. Now, we're seeing them now. People, your listeners probably have heard some about it. Not a lot, because the Trump video released late day Friday has overwhelmed coverage of what I think deserves coverage. What it shows that, and I'm not shocked, is Hillary Clinton had a pretty cozy relationship with some of these outfits like Goldman Sachs. And what it means is that moving forward, progressives need to mobilize, need to organize, and hold Hillary accountable to fulfill where she's moved to as a result of Sanders running against her in the primaries.
Whether
so
it be Keystone.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, whether it be Keystone,
Exactly.
climate change, trade.
Wall Street.
Wall Street. So in this email it says, she tells people that, well, there's a private position and there's a public position. That's pretty dangerous.
Well, I mean, I'm not shocked at. I mean, part of what goes on is that there is a value to this transparency. I mean, I know WikiLeaks has come under attack. I think the dumping, if you don't redact in some cases, I do think there's a danger. But this is important for people to know, and it's the case in our politics, in our political life, that we don't, as citizens, and the media has to work hard, this is our role too, to be adversarial, to unearth, to disclose. But I'm not shocked by the view that I think she tried to explain in the debate that there's a view where you're trying to work things out, and then what comes out of that is public. It's not pretty. I'm not shocked, but it shows us the kind of work we have cut out for us.
But, well, no question about that. But there's a history leading up to this speech, and that is she's out calling TPP the gold standard numerous times, and then having political pressure in a campaign, she reverses her position. I mean, it makes you wonder, are we getting the closed door answer or the one that's really true out in the public? And I think this plays into the trust issue, but I think you make a very profound point, Katrina, in that what Trump is going through right now overshadows what really would be a big story and a big conversation piece with progressives right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be. And I will say at The Nation, we are covering the Wiki leaks, and I think they're important. But that what they do at this stage, I am not shocked. Hillary Clinton comes out of a particular circle. Her advisors in a certain period, it was a neoliberal, pro-corporate trade administration. The Clinton one administration was. But we have a different landscape now. It'll be tough, but there is pressure on her. She has moved. You got to hold her accountable, but she did move.
All right.
And I think her instinct is probably to go back to what's comfortable, and that's what these transcripts are so valuable in showing to us the work we have cut out for us. Do not demobilize. Mobilize.
Katrina Vanden Heuvel, editor, part owner of The Nation magazine. Great to have you with us. Thanks, Katrina.
Thank you, Ed.
Appreciate it. Communication Workers of America, Alliance for American Manufacturing, Buyer Green Clean, and the iSave team bring you this production. We're back tomorrow.